Welcome to your first Spanish class. Today we're going to be going over some of the history of the Spanish language, and then moving on to the alphabet and some useful phrases, okay? Now, Spanish is written in the same writing system as English. So it should be very easy for you to write in Spanish. Okay, the only difference, as you saw, was the little accent marks. Okay? So let's get down to it. Spanish is spoken by over 500 million people. Now, this makes it one of the world's most spoken languages, next to languages like English, Hindi, and Arabic. So, it's a very useful language to learn. Most of those speakers do live in Central and South America, but people often forget that it is a European language. So what we're going to learn is the countries that it's spoken in, and how to pronounce the names of the countries and how to write their names in Spanish. Okay? So first, Spain, the country that it comes from, which is in Europe. It's España. Okay? And next, one of the countries that most people, especially here in the United States, think of when they think about Spanish. Mexico. Now you notice a little accent over the E, and the X in Mexico in Spanish is softer, so it's actually pronounced Mexico. Okay. And next, let's just go down from Mexico into Central America. Guatemala. It's not spelled any differently than it is in English, but it's pronounced differently, okay? Okay. Let's go to the next two countries that are right under Guatemala, I believe. It's El Salvador and Honduras. Honduras. Pardon me. Still working on the pronunciation. So El Salvador and Honduras are, again, spelled the same but pronounced differently because they're already in Spanish. So these three countries are already in Spanish. Now let's keep moving down the continent. To the next countries. Nicaragua. I probably butchered spelling that, but that's how it's pronounced. Now let's go to the next country. Costa Rica. Costa Rica in Spanish means the rich coast. So it's spelled and pronounced as you see here. Now let's go to the next country. Panama. I believe I put the accent on the right A. If not, I apologize. Now we move into South America. These were the last two. In Central America. So most people get confused, and especially in the United States, there is a perception that Brazil speaks Spanish, but they don't. They speak Portuguese. Okay, so that's not going to be included on our list. And there are some countries in South America that also speak French and Dutch, which won't be on there either. Okay. So Colombia. Ecuador. It's called that because it's on the equator, I think. And then let's do Venezuela. Okay. And I will tell you if they're pronounced or spelled any differently than how I write them, okay? And then we have Peru. And then Paraguay and Uruguay. In English we call them Paraguay and Uruguay. But the U in Spanish is pronounced U, so that's why they sound a bit different. Argentina, or in English, Argentina. Alright, and then we have Chile. Now, in English we call it Chile for some reason, like the food, but it's nothing like that. It's an actual country. So. Okay. Let's move to the islands. Let's speak Spanish. So, in the United States and in the English language we call this Cuba, but it's pronounced Cuba. Okay. And then we have the Dominican Republic, and in Spanish it's República Dominicana. Now, a quick sort of geography lesson. The Dominican Republic is kind of geographically interesting. This isn't exactly what the island they're on looks like. I'm just gonna draw kind of... That is nothing what it looks like, but just... This is to demonstrate where they are. So, this island is called Hispaniola. Okay, and there's another country actually on the island. Let's draw a fake border there. So this is the Dominican Republic. Right, and over here is Haiti. I think it's spelled that right. Hopefully. Now, Haiti and the Dominican Republic are different in a few ways. So over here, they speak Spanish, of course, but on this side of the island, they speak French. So, it's kind of an interesting thing to note. But back on to the subject. The last one. Puerto Rico. Now, Puerto Rico is not a country of its own. They are actually a U.S. territory. they might become either independent from the United States or the 51st state. So, and the U.S. has a lot of other island territories, but that is one of the only islands, well, our only island territory, rather, that speaks Spanish. Okay. So let's move on to the alphabet. So it is the same as in English. Okay, but N kind of has what they call the extra, well, what might be considered an extra letter in the Spanish language. It's ñe. The little N with the accent mark over it. So this is just N. It makes the, the sound. And ñe, I'll write it again, makes it sound like ña. Yeah, so like España. It makes it so you don't have to write like a Y after. Okay, and let's point out some differences. So Y is pronounced as, well, it's not pronounced as, but it's called Y. G is He, and H is H. A is A. So, and J kind of is a funny name. J is Jota. So, and these all kind of sound the same. So L through N, LA, MA, NA, and then NA. Okay. Now let's go over some useful phrases. So everyone knows hola, right? And this is hello or hi. And then, of course, everyone knows sí, which means yes. But some people get confused on what no is, and no is just no. It's the same. Okay? And I'm going in no particular order of phrases, but these are all equally of use. So let's do bien, which means good. Okay. And then we have, let's do Gracias. I think I spelled that right. I always struggled spelling that. And it means thank you. However, that's not the literal translation. The literal translation is grace. So like what you did for me is, it's kind of graceful, or just something like that. Okay. And these are all the ways to say bye. Okay. So adios is something people say quite often, not knowing really what it means. And it actually means go with God. So when you say something like this to a native Spanish speaker that you're planning on seeing again, that's very bad, because you usually say this when you're not gonna see them ever again, or for a long time. Okay? So you'd say ciao. Ciao, it's very similar to the Italian ciao, and it's a more informal way of saying goodbye. But if you want to be specific on when you're going to see them again, or not, oh, sorry, got ahead of myself. Hasta mañana. No, this means see you tomorrow. Okay. And then you have hasta luego. That means see you later. Okay? So, I think for today's lesson, this should be enough. Okay? And there are plenty more phrases that we could learn, but they're a bit more complicated, so we'll save those for the next lesson. Okay? Great. Alright, well, I'll see you all next time. Alright. Adios. No, what's the correct way to say goodbye if you're gonna see me again next time? Hasta luego, or ciao. Yeah, correct. Alright, glad you caught that.